catchers in the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry, Posada, Veritek. Which one is handling the end of their career more gracefully? Hey everybody, this is Paulie, and welcome back to This Week in Red, talking Yankees-Red Sox rivalry. Specifically, the aging catchers on both teams, Jorge Posada, Jason Varitek. And these guys throughout their career have always been compared to one another. Which one handles a pitching staff better? Which one's a better offensive player? Which one's more of a leader on their team? And in a lot of ways, you know, Posada, Varitek, they're both leaders on their teams. Varitek maybe handles the staff a little better than Jorge, but Posada is definitely the better offensive player overall in his career. So it's interesting to see in the last week or so the things that have gone down with Posada and the Yankees, with him asking out of the lineup. And you just ask yourself sometimes, would Varitek take this approach with the Red Sox? He hasn't so far, and I think there's some big differences here. I think Posada is still thinking about himself as a core player on the Yankees, a power hitter, a guy who's got a lot of importance to the team, whereas Varitek now for a couple of years, he's kind of accepted his role being diminished. He doesn't like it, but he understands it. He understands catcher is a position that's very grueling and that you kind of have to take a step back in the later years. So now he's become more of a part-time player and mentor for Jared Saltalamacchia, something we've talked about in the past. Whereas Posada, he's really been cut out of the catching picture by Brian Cashman and Joe Girardi. I mean, they're going with Russell Martin, who they signed in the offseason, and Francisco Cervelli as the backup. They told Posada before spring training straight out, hey, you're not doing any catching. Don't even bring a catcher's glove to spring training because it's not going to happen. And he was very upset by that and offended by that. So he's having a much harder time adjusting to his role on the team. And now he's in a position where he's the designated hitter for the most part, but he's hitting 165. Yes, he's shown some power, but he has no hits from the right side of the plate. And it's been a real problem for the Yankees. And of course, it all exploded a few days ago when Posada asked out of his game against the Red Sox out of the lineup. And again, you wouldn't expect Varitek to do that. And it's really been difficult for Yankee fans to swallow, to see this happen to Posada. But, by the same token, as a baseball fan, you want your best players out there. And is Posada really one of the best players on the Yankees right now? So that's the question. Which guy do you think is handling his situation at the end of his career more gracefully? And more importantly, what do you think the future holds for these players? Do you think that this type of pattern will continue with Posada? Or will he regress a little bit and kind of become more of a Varitek-like presence on the Yankees? Let us know here at This Week in Red.